This is IXL Practice Skill K5, where students are going to learn how to solve one-step inequalities with multiplication and division. Solving inequalities is very similar to solving equations, but there is one difference, and this difference is going to be in this box right here. If you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must flip the inequality sign. And we'll see how that works whenever we are doing these practice problems. This is the only thing that is different about solving whenever you're doing inequalities. So let's get started. Number 1, we have 5f is less than or equal to 10. I want f to be all by itself, so I need to do inverse operations. This f is being multiplied by 5, so the opposite of multiply by 5 is divide by 5. So I'm going to divide by 5 on both sides. The f, bring it down, bring down your symbol, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. Since our letter is all by itself, this is our final answer. Number 2, it says solve for t. I need t to be all by itself, but right now t is divided by 5. So the opposite of divide by 5 is multiply by 5. So on both sides, I'm going to multiply by 5. 5 divided by 5 cancels out, and I get t is greater than or equal to 2 times 5, which is 10. Since the letter is all by itself, that is our final answer. Number 3 says solve for f. I need this f to be all by itself, but there is a multiply by a negative 3. So this is the point where we need to remember that if we multiply by a negative, you have to flip the sign. So the opposite of multiply by 3 is still dividing by negative 3. So I need to divide by negative 3 on both sides. So I'm going to divide by a negative. That means when I cancel out, I bring down my letter, and instead of this symbol for greater than, I'm going to flip it. So it's going to be pointing to the left side now. So we flip the symbol. 3 divided by negative 3 is negative 1. And since the letter is all by itself now, this is our final answer. Number 4 says solve for m. M is divided by 9 right here. So the opposite of divide by 9 is multiply by 9. So I want to multiply both sides by 9. The 9's cancel out, and I get m. The symbol does not change because we did not multiply by a negative, so it still points to the left. And then 9 times 2 is 18. So since this letter is all by itself, this is my final answer. Now you can type it into IXL just like this, and it'll say it's correct. If you do want to flip the M to be in front, the sign has to stay where the alligator is eating the M. So if you did want to flip it, you would have M first is bigger than 18. So both of these answers would be accepted on the program. Number 5, I need to solve for p, but p is being multiplied by an 8. 8 times p. So the opposite of multiply by 8 is divide by 8. So I'm going to divide by 8 on both sides. I get p. I divided by a positive number, so it stays the same. P is less than negative 24 divided by 8. Negative 24 divided by 8 is negative 3. And the letter's by itself, so this is our final answer. Last one, number 6, solve for d. But d is being divided by negative 17. Divide by negative 17. So the opposite of divide by negative 17 is to multiply by negative 17 on both sides. So negative 17 times negative 17. The negative 17s cancel each other out. We're left with d is less than or equal to, not less than, greater than. Notice here that we multiplied by a negative number. So I need to flip that sign. So it's going to be greater than or equal to negative 17 times positive 4, which is negative 68. And d is all by itself, so that is the final answer. And that is how you solve one-step inequalities with multiplication and division.